I think what I would add to that is that, so for example, the government have done some things. You know, they've created the Homebuilders Fund. You know, we're talking about £2 to £3 billion available, but how much of it is really being used? If you compare that to businesses, the British Business Bank came out and has worked with a lot of alternative lenders in order to get those funds where it's needed into the SME space. Now, what I'd really like to see is the Home Builder Fund being used in a very similar process, either because there is plenty of money around. You know, we've spoken about on different programs, there's plenty of money wanting to invest in the UK in property. So what's the best way that this funds could be used? Now, I personally think what we want to see is it being used in the equity space to allow then debt lenders to come in and support on the larger basis. But what that does is you use the 3 billion and you can leverage that up to potentially 15 billion, you know, 20 billion to then really create something and momentum. Because the thing with government organisations, they clearly have a goodwill, but on the other hand, it's how can we, it's lenders today, alternative lenders have the skill sets to appraise projects quickly, and they also see a number of projects come through. If they can liaise appropriately with a government organisation, and also, by the way, if things go well, there's a return for the government as well. It's not just it's not
in
just
many
a handout.
ways, I'd say.
Exactly.
In many ways. So it's interesting that you've pinpointed planning as being one of the specific sort of barriers, because also I think it's quite fascinating. We always talk about what a crowded little island this is, but actually only 10% of land is taken up by, you know, building basically. So there is space, isn't there? So maybe, as you say, it all comes down to that bit, because there is money, there is the will to do it, there's the need for it. So, you know, why isn't it being done?
And also, to be honest, the other thing is clarity helps business planning and also financing. So, you know, if, for example, we want more affordable housing, some of the legislation needs to come in and provide certainty so that...
So that's going to be a good investment.
It's going to be a good investment, but also it allows the market some time to react and for land prices to appropriately change, because the fundability of something, if there's no affordable housing on there versus whether there is affordable, is very, very different. And what we shouldn't do is have constant changes where a developer might go in really wanting to put extra housing. Now, maybe you're right, it's not the right type of housing, but they've gone in good faith. The legislation then changes. This site is now no longer profitable for them. Potentially they could make a loss on it if they were to build it out as it is. Now, I don't think the legislation is meant to do that. And so, you know, some thought needs to be given in terms of the progress and how it's actually rolled out.